all up. Everything you got. Come on, you ape. You want to live forever?
Starship Troopers was a gamble that nearly wrecked Hollywood careers and fooled an entire generation. One actor's collapse shut down a $100 million shoot. The director secretly funneled studio money into Nazi propaganda, and a child star's fate turned tragic. The twist? This so-called anti-war masterpiece became the very thing it set out to destroy. Here are 12 hidden facts fans totally missed.
Preferable to war with the bugs.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all! Yeah! Yeah!
Number 12. The script started as a completely different movie. The movie originally started out in 1991 titled Bug Hunt at Outpost 7, a script written by Ed Neumeyer, which had been in production before the producers ever bought the rights to Starship Troopers. After recognizing similarities between Neumeyer's script and Heinlein's book Starship Troopers, producer John Davison suggested aligning the script more closely with the novel to garner greater interest from studio executives. So they slapped the famous name on it and called it a day. The movie that became a cult classic about space fascism was originally just another bug hunt story. Sometimes the best art happens by pure accident. Fact number 11. Director Paul Verhoeven found the novel so boring he never finished it. You'd think the director of a $100 million adaptation would, actually read the book he's adapting? Not Paul Verhoeven. The Dutch filmmaker got partway through Heinlein's novel and basically said, "This is military propaganda disguised as science fiction." He decided to turn it into the exact opposite, anti-military propaganda disguised as a summer popcorn movie. Verhoeven literally took Sony's money and created the book's worst nightmare. That kind of move takes either wild artistic vision or downright audacity. Honestly, Verhoeven had a little of both.
Sir, I don't understand. Who needs a knife in a nuke fight anyway? All you gotta do is push a button.
Fact number 10. Jake Busey's heatstroke shut down production for an entire week. The movie was filmed in Hell's Half-Acre, Wyoming in 120-degree heat, while the cast had to wear heavy armor. It's no wonder Jake Busey suffered heatstroke after working all day in the desert sun, stopping production for an entire week. The loss of production cost the studio $1.5 million a day. Ouch! When Busey recovered, several large holes were cut into his uniform so he could cool off. Many other cast members' suits had this modification as well in order to prevent further victims. Even with these precautions, there were 25 people per day being treated for heat stroke during filming. If you're already shocked by these behind-the-scenes disasters, hit that like button because we're just getting warmed up. The next facts get way darker, and I guarantee that at least one will completely change how you see this movie. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Fact number 9. Casper Van Dien suffered horrific injuries, but no one knew. Van Dien wasn't just playing a tough guy, he was living it and paying a brutal price for his dedication. Van Dien was injured during a stunt that involved him riding on the back of a gigantic moving fiberglass tanker bug shell. The movement kept slamming him into the shell as he was held in place with ropes, chipping one of his teeth and cracking several of his ribs over the 3.5 days of filming. But he refused to mention the pain and risked stalling filming. But that's not even the worst part. His internal injuries were so serious that he wound up coughing blood on set. 3 cracked ribs, internal bleeding, and he never said a word. That may be the most dedicated performance in Hollywood history.
It's afraid. It's afraid!
Fact number 8. The visual effects team was falling apart behind the scenes. Half the budget, $50 million, went to visual effects. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. Producer John Davison wanted to use outside visual effects studios, but it was made clear to him that the film wouldn't receive financing to proceed without using the in-house studio, Sony Pictures Imageworks. The result was a disaster. Headed by Ken Ralston, SPI would lead to problems for the production of Starship Troopers, with their contributions falling months behind schedule. And the visual effects that were completed weren't sufficient to the filmmaker's standards. An unnamed, highly placed employee of the Starship Troopers production said that SPI was poorly managed, disorganized, and rarely on set or involved in the production, while another said that SPI's priorities were split with developing the effects for the science fiction film Contact in production the same year. Your Bug movie was competing with Jodie Foster talking to aliens, and the bugs were losing. Fact number 7. The cast was specifically chosen to look like Nazi propaganda models. This wasn't random casting. This was surgical precision with a disturbing purpose. Verhoeven wanted a cast who visually embodied the Aryan, blonde, blue-eyed, and beautiful image he had perceived in the Nazi propaganda films Triumph of the Will and Olympia by Leni Riefenstahl. Verhoeven even stated, "Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon auditioned, but I was looking for the prototype of blonde, white, and arrogant." And Casper Van Dien was so close to the images I remembered from Leni Riefenstahl's films. Van Dien was selected not for his acting ability, but because he looked like he stepped out of a 1930s German propaganda film. What if Matt Damon had gotten the role instead? Would audiences have caught on to the satire sooner with a more recognizable face delivering fascist propaganda? Okay, if these casting secrets are absolutely blowing your mind, you need to subscribe right now because what's coming next will completely flip your understanding of this movie. We're about to reveal how Verhoeven literally used Nazi filmmaking techniques, and most people still don't realize it. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so you don't miss any of these jaw-dropping movie breakdowns. Fact number 6. Neil Patrick Harris arrived on set in full SS officer regalia. Remember sweet, innocent Doogie Howser? Forget everything you think you know. The officer uniforms, in particular with their gray and black hues, jackboots and eagle pins, were tailored to resemble those worn by Nazis. Not convinced? Just check out what Neil Patrick Harris wrote. On top of the Gestapo-like uniforms, the entire world that is portrayed in Starship Troopers is filled with Nazi imagery. In 2018, Verhoeven said, "I thought Neil Patrick Harris arriving on the set in an SS uniform might clear it up. That moment when your child star grows up to become a space Nazi. Just normal Hollywood things."
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
Fact number 5. The opening scene was stolen, shot for shot, from Nazi propaganda. That recruitment video at the beginning that gets you pumped to join the mobile infantry? It's not original at all. Verhoeven took Starship Troopers' first scene, an advertisement for the mobile infantry, shot for shot from Leni Riefenstahl's movie Triumph of the Will. I borrowed from the films of Leni Riefenstahl to show that these soldiers were like something out of Nazi propaganda, said Verhoeven. He literally used a $100 million Hollywood budget to remake the most notorious propaganda film in history. And somehow the studio executives completely missed it. Fact number 4. The anti-war movie became a military recruitment tool. Despite being created as a scathing critique of militarism and fascism, Starship Troopers became exactly what it was designed to mock, a recruitment tool. Military recruiters reportedly showed clips from the film to inspire young people to enlist, completely missing the satirical warning. The very propaganda videos Verhoeven crafted to demonstrate how dangerous military marketing could be were used as actual military marketing. The director spent years and $100 million creating a warning about the seductive power of fascist imagery, only to watch the real world prove his point by falling for his fake propaganda. That's not just ironic, that's prophetic. Verhoeven accidentally created a monster so convincing that it escaped the screen and started recruiting for the very system it was meant to critique. The satire became reality. The warning became the weapon. Fact number 3. The movie's release was delayed 3 times due to effects disasters. Starship Troopers had been scheduled for release on July 2, 1997, before being pushed back to July 25th, then September, and finally November 7th. This was ostensibly because the special effects were so far behind schedule that additional time was needed to complete production. Although other Sony films, Men in Black and Air Force One, were moved into the July dates as they were also seen as more commercially viable than Starship Troopers. Think about that. The studio had so little faith in their $100 million space war epic that they moved Will Smith punching aliens and Harris Ford on a plane into the prime summer slots instead. Fact number 2. The shower scene almost didn't happen due to actor protests. The co-ed shower scene became iconic, but it almost never existed. Several cast members initially refused to film it, worried about their careers and public image. Verhoeven had to convince them that the scene was essential to showing how this future society had moved beyond traditional modesty, part of the fascist perfection he was depicting. The scene wasn't meant to be titillating, it was meant to be unsettling in its casual acceptance of lost privacy. Eventually, the actors agreed, but only after Verhoeven explained the deeper political commentary. It's a perfect example of how the film's satire was so subtle that even the people making it sometimes missed the point. Fact number 1. Critics completely missed the satire and called Verhoeven a Nazi. Here's the ultimate irony. While Verhoeven's film was blatantly condemning fascism, critics accused the filmmakers of being Nazis themselves. As Verhoeven said in 2018, a Washington Post editorial warned Americans about the movie. because it said it was made by two neo-Nazis, me and screenwriter Ed Neumeyer. It helped destroy it along with the word of mouth. It dropped 50% in the second week, which was unheard of at the time. With a title like Starship Troopers, people were expecting a new Star Wars. They got that, but not really. It stuck in your throat. It said, here are your heroes and heroines. But by the way, they're fascists. The movie's message, fascism is bad, was so perfectly disguised that professional film critics thought it was actual fascist propaganda. Verhoeven created the perfect satire, and it was too perfect for its own good. These 12 hidden facts prove that Starship Troopers was far more complex, dangerous, and brilliant than anyone realized in 1997. From secret Nazi imagery to production disasters, from misunderstood satire to accidental propaganda, this movie was a beautiful catastrophe that somehow became a masterpiece. Which fact shocked you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know if you think Verhoeven was a genius or completely insane for making this film. And if you want more hidden secrets from movies that were way crazier behind the scenes than you ever imagined, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell.